nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Lunchtime Conversations. I am the official urban therapist, and I appreciate you tuning in. I hope that you're having a wonderful and fabulous Tuesday. Uh, my Tuesday is cool for the most part, but like I always, I'm always busy doing stuff. But nevertheless, I want to do another lunchtime conversation. To be honest with you, I want to try to do this as often as possible. I come in through y'all lunch break and we just chop it up and chat. This episode of lunchtime conversations, we just talk about random stuff. I'm not going to do no series or anything like that. Wherever y'all want to discuss within this hour, I'm more than open to discuss that with y'all today. You know, we'll let this be a viewer's choice discussion today. PNP, what's up with it, bro? What's up with it? Well, PNP, since you're tuning in right now, let me ask you a question. How you feel about the R. Kelly verdict? Do you feel that R. Kelly was found guilty with his crimes that he been charged of, or do you feel different about that? I guess that could be the discussion for lunchtime conversations today. So, yeah, how you feel about that? And that goes for everybody else too. How do y'all feel about the R. Kelly verdict? Um, do y'all feel that is justice there? Do y'all feel that it's not justice there? Do y'all feel that Black Lives Matters need to be involved with it, or how do y'all feel about that? Well, what space are y'all in regarding R. Kelly and this guilty verdict? Yeah, how y'all feel about that? Yeah, PMP. He said they did the same. They did the same thing to old Bill Cosby. Yeah. Well, wasn't R. Kelly trying to buy some type of network too, and they prevented it, or was that just a rumor? Oh my bad, bro. PMP. Yeah, I'm tripping. Hold up. Yeah, yeah. I just dropped the link. If you want to come up for a few minutes, you can. Because I know you don't like to type all the time. But you saying that you believe that Kelly is guilty, but they have to offer deals to all people who helped commit those crimes. Kelly is illiterate and couldn't manage his own money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true too. So why would they make R. Kelly the example though, instead of going for everyone who's involved in that? So I need to charge my phone too. Hey, what up, bro?
What up? What's going on?
And then much happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday, man. Just caught you on a random lunch break.
Oh yeah, yeah. I try to do these lunchtime conversations at least probably like about 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, just jump on here. That's
That's
all.
cool. In regards to that R. Kelly thing, he's guilty, but they they cut a lot of corners to get him. They offered a lot of deals. A lot of people who testified were just as guilty as him, probably more so because they're the ones who are really the mastermind behind it.
Oh
He's not
yeah.
because if you looked at what they said and also of what you hear about him, he's not able to manage his own money. He's not intelligent enough. He has trouble. He can't spell. He can't read. From what I understand, he's illiterate. So you have all these people who are handling him, and because they're handling him, they're also managing the girls, bringing girls in, putting the girls in the rooms. A couple of the people who testified admitted to moving people from left to right, different places. He couldn't do this all by himself. Remember, he's writing, he's producing, he's performing, he's touring. The way how they described all these acts, he couldn't do this by himself.
Mm-hmm.
If people left him on his own, he wouldn't be able to get this all done. He wouldn't have. And then when you look at the fact that, and I always say this, whenever you have when if anyone's ever involved in any type of sexual assault, it's always best to come forward to the police right away and take it to trial. Because when you don't, what happens is that you leave room for the alleged suspect to continue to do it again. Excuse me, and he's going to get a lot of leeway so that he ends up having many victims in his wake 10, 20, 30 years later, which all could have been stopped if it was brought to justice on the initial act, and that is the act with Aaliyah. If Aaliyah's
Mm-hmm.
family, because Aaliyah's family, the mother, the father, the uncle, they all knew. They all knew because she was pregnant and they got
Yeah.
married. So there's records of all of this. So they knew from there. Instead of actually taking them to court and getting them arrested and put them in jail, because the evidence is there. If she actually had a child and aborted it, all that is just paperwork, just paper trails. They could have got him in jail and he would have been done. You wouldn't have any of these things that happened after the fact. But because they made a deal, from what I understand, to get his publishing, they allowed it. He goes free. Aaliyah goes their separate ways. They get the money from the publishing. Everybody's happy. But then that allows him to go ahead and continue to do it again and again and again. Right? So this all stems from that one bad act. They should have taken him to trial. They should have taken him to court from the get go. And when people don't do that and they go based off on bad morals or lack of integrity, now look what's happened. It blossomed into this shit show where you have numerous victims across numerous states, across numerous decades.
Mm-hmm. So R. Kelly is not the mastermind behind this. It's somebody who's higher than him.
He's just a guy who's producing the money, right? I don't see him as the guy who's putting this all together. He had people helping him. Even after his first case that he was found not guilty, it looks like he had handlers to put him in a position where he's moving differently. But again, all of this requires assistance from other people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Apparently, the girls were getting allowances, right? Like
Yeah.
I heard like $5,000 a month. Who's in charge of that? If he's on tour, how are these girls getting allowances? How are they going shopping? How are they able to be in his house and he's away? Like how do those things happen? These are adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like an adult can't walk on her own and leave. It's not like R. Kelly could force his way across thousands of miles away because he's touring. So how is that getting done? Unless there's people that he pays to watch over them, to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, to oversee everything.
Yeah.
And those people are ones who testified and got off scot-free.
Interesting.
So,
So,
yeah.
question. If that be the case, if R. Kelly was paying all these people off to do whatever, right? He should have a record of everything, right? So if that be the case, why R. Kelly and his attorneys, why they just didn't present all them receipts so it could be traced back to the actual mastermind behind it?
Well, here's again. I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't watching the case every day, but in my opinion, in order for him, remember he's on trial for the whole racketeering sexual assault thing. If
Yeah,
he's going to come out and say that, look, these are the records, this is what they did with me, he's implicating himself. So he's not going to do that, right? So he's going to deny everything. But the sad thing about it is that uh, the prosecutors make these deals because that's the only way they could find him guilty without any shadow of a doubt, is by getting the people who actually worked with him, that knew everything about the situation, to testify against him, right?
hmm
So to me, it's only justice if he gets his 20 years, whatever the case where he might get, and if all those other people who are complicit get 20 years as well too.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that because at the end of the day, everybody who's involved with that should be persecuted as well. Besides R. Kelly, and this is always fitting that it always be the person who's well known is the one who be the one living sacrifice, quote unquote. But yeah, absolutely. So that's why I was asking about that, about the receipts and stuff. Because if I know that the sink is selling, and I know that I'm supposed to get sentenced for 20 years, man, sure, I'm in office to put out every receipt possible. And hey, if I'm going down, all y'all going down with me, like, for real. Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Like a kamikaze pilot where you kill yourself and everybody else with you.
For
Right?
real, for real. I mean, that'll be the more logical thing to do instead of having this hood code of honor.
Mm.
You know what
I
I'm
get,
saying?
I
At
yeah.
that point, it don't even matter.
I guess he thought that he has a chance of getting off, right? And I guess his attorneys are gonna. That's the thing with lawyers; they're gonna sell it like you could get off. So the goal is to deny, even though you might think, okay, there's a better strategy. They're always gonna go with, well, we have the best possible chance if we go this way. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think that, yeah, it's great that he's no longer able to do this. But guess what's gonna happen? Not to say this is gonna happen, but this is the nature of these things. Those
Mhm.
helpers are gonna go to the next person and they're gonna offer their help. Right? That's just the nature of how everything is. When you have bad acts that are involved in certain things, once the main person gets caught, those bad acts go off to somebody else who's going to fund them, and they're going to continue the bad acts to help them. Just in case in point, after the World War II, Germany, you have Hitler. All the people working under Hitler, once Hitler fell and the regime fell, where all those scientists go? They ran right to America.
Yep,
Amer-
exactly.
the American government employed them, funded them, and what did they do? They created the atomic bomb,
Yep.
from what I understand, right? And it was used in Japan, whatever. But this is what happens. So you have the helpers who they're just going to find someone else to help, and the cycle continues, right? So it's important that it's not just the head that you kill off; it's everybody else as well too.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're just cutting off just a small portion of it, then you can look at it in terms of a virus. If you're just cutting off a small portion of it, everything else still affected. The rest of the system's still affected. So what are you gonna do about that? You
Yeah,
got to get rid of everything, burn it all down. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I agree. And then that will set the example for everybody else. Hey, even if I'm not the one who's directly doing it, I know that if I'm enabling in somehow or if I'm assisting in somehow, I could go to jail too. And then I'm going to think twice about it, right? If I'm really that morally decrepit where I'm willing to do something like that, I might think twice, right? But again, to see this happen and everyone else freely talk about what they've done for him to assist him, it to me it's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's nasty,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I mean, it makes headlines because he's the famous person, but you have all those people
Mm-hmm.
who are getting away.
Yeah. So how do you feel about different people and also different content creators who are defending R. Kelly, even at the point him being guilty, they still defending him, saying free R. Kelly and all this stuff.
Well, there's always going to be contrary. People are contrarians, right?
Hmm.
There's always going to be a group that's going to just be the opposing view, just for the sake of being the opposing view. I don't think anyone truly believes that he's innocent. I just think people are not in agreement with how it was done, and
Hmm.
I could respect that because some of the things that they did to him, for example, making him wait so long for his trial. They had him locked up for what 2-3 years before he actually had a trial, right? So to me, it didn't make any sense for that to be done. If I'm not mistaken, Harvey Weinstein was able to be free
Yeah.
until the trial date, right? I remember there was a story where he was somewhere in LA talking about his case and someone punched him because he was talking about the women in a derogatory fashion, and someone overheard it. So you have certain people that are free enjoying life before they have the trial date. Meanwhile, he's stuck in prison for 2-3 years. So to me, that's crazy.
Hmm.
So I understand the contrarian view, but I don't think anyone truly believes that he's completely innocent.
Yeah, because I seen a couple of content creators. They was like, nah, we need free R. Kelly. Forget all that. It just one huge conspiracy. R. Kelly was trying to do the certain thing, and the one I guess the Illuminati or the elites just found a way to bring him down. Just different arguments about that. You know, what's
One,
up, Matt?
or it's mad.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? Everybody's changing the Avi, man. Is that Michael Jackson?
Man, that's
Oh, this
Bruce
Bruce
Leroy.
Leroy.
Man, what's wrong with you, man?
Yo,
You don't know about Bruce
I
Leroy?
I've never watched that movie, man.
Bro, you never seen that movie?
Nah.
Oh man, that's a classic. Yeah, you gotta
Yes,
watch
sir. Man, who's your master?
that. Showing up.
Yeah, I
Man, I
gotta
think I
watch
wore
that.
that VHS out on that one.
I gotta watch that and the Warriors. Those are the two old school ones I haven't watched yet.
I haven't
Oh,
seen the whole complete Warriors. It seemed like I always get cut off from it or something. Something always come up.
So what's your
Need to
take
watch
on?
it like 2 a.m. or something.
So what's your take on the whole situation, Matt?
Oh, I don't have too much of a take on R. Kelly. Actually, I was just coming by. You know what I'm saying? The hour was dropping the clip. You know what I'm saying in the private chat for my man Urban, maybe for later on. So if news picks up on that topic today, remember
okay.
on the news channel. You know what I'm saying? You heard it here first. Our news channel is. You know what I'm saying? So
Hold on. Let me copy this link real quick. I could just hold up. Give me a sec.
actually it's an alleged Proud Boy, and his his opinion on Nicki Minaj and the CDC.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy. I think it's time, boy. It seemed like they was waiting for this. Here come the drums. Yeah, buddy. Wake up time. Yeah, I mean, I have to look at it like that way, you know what I'm saying? Because for a year, man, I've just watched my people fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? So,
But yeah. I got the one. I'll check it out after the Sun show.
but R.
Just
Kelly though,
show it
yeah,
now.
R. Kelly though, man, I don't know. I didn't really keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? I said he was guilty back in the days. You know, I ain't really played too much of his music. You know what I'm saying? Since 12 play, I didn't buy none of his other albums after that. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
never
think
jammed Chocolate Factory, bro?
no. I think
Oh,
Best of Both Worlds ended up in my collection some kind of way. I know I didn't buy it, but somebody probably left it in my car or something like that. But which go other than that, I wasn't a real big fan of his after as I got older and realized like, yo, this dude was hitting on a young girl and shit. You know what I'm saying? But,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
being around black folks, you know, man, but his music, you know, which I can't get mad at them because they did the same thing with Jerry Lee Lewis. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? White
Yeah.
folks.
Exactly.
I just gonna
So
say there's a bunch of them who fall in that category as well too.
Yeah. So question: since we found out the verdict, R. Kelly gonna be sentenced. Are y'all still gonna be jamming this music?
he gets no play in my deck, no way. Uh, no, not really, unless I'm at an event or a family reunion or something and I have no choice over the radio. Then
I'll listen to it. I not probably not publicly in my own house
Mhm.
for my own enjoyment.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen to it too, because I'm not going to take away his song artistry, even though he committed this such a heinous act. You
it's
know,
it's like who if you sitting there trying to mac a woman and you got R. Kelly on, it's like I always had this image. If he was singing to a young girl or something like that at the time of
Mm.
making these, it's like it makes you feel kind of funny. Just like
Y-
now, I'm a fan of Keith Sweat. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
It seems like you ready and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? All these songs and stuff. Even though I'm still a fan of Keith Sweat, you know what I'm saying? I'm Keith Sweat way over R. Kelly, even though it's
But
big
you know
margin of
what though?
music there. Hmm.
The funny thing is when you go to the clubs and they play like the raunchy songs,
Hmm.
who's the one to respond the most and the loudest?
to the ladies,
It's always the ladies. So
to especially when that that thing come on, shoot on the whole everyone
yeah,
in the club backing it up.
yeah. So again, I don't know. I don't think they would mind in a private setting if it plays. I don't know.
Yeah. And by the way, if I'm in your neck of the woods, I better not hear back that thing up. Come on, that dude sold us out.
Yeah, he
Who,
showed.
Juvenile?
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You might see it different.
All with the vax that
Yeah, that's it.
I
vax
Thanks.
that
can't
thing
believe,
up.
man, he shouldn't have been
But
allowed to
but
go to nobody's
the
cookout this summer. Hey,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like in that situation, I could kind of understand because at the end of the day, it was just by money talk, dudes walk. So you need
integrity,
money, you gotta do
man.
what you gotta do.
Hmm.
Integrity.
Yeah, that
I, I,
matters.
I, I rather die poor with a clear mind. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't,
Yeah,
with
I,
everything that's coming after that, you know what I'm saying? Do you know I think they're about to tear down the CDC right now. You know what I'm saying? And you supported this? You know what I'm saying? You supported a message? You know what I'm saying? That's the way I'm looking at it. I had more evidence to look at it as far as like, yo, he sold us out.
The
It
messed up
wasn't,
thing about it is that
it wasn't enough data out here for you to promote that to our people.
they're trying to so remember before they banned them off Spotify and then they brought him back. And
yep,
so, and then the argument was that, well, he's not guilty yet. You can't convict an innocent man. But now that he's found guilty, will they take his music away?
Well, I think he might have did need the money, boy. He need to lose some more of those crack teeth, boy. I don't know what the hell wrong with this man, but
I don't know, man.
hmm. So let me throw out this double standard out here to you guys. All right, so y'all saying that since R. Kelly did what he did with this trafficking and stuff, this would prevent a lot of people from listening to his music, right? But however, there are a lot of other artists out there as well that did like way worse than what R. Kelly did. Some
Yep.
slanging drugs and messing up the community and everything, but yet and still a lot of people listen to them. So is that a double standard or what?
Yep.
no, no,
I think it is.
and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna try to explain why I'm looking at it as you explain it. Which called the people who slinging drugs are selling to people who's making a personal choice to do it. You know, when we talking about R. Kelly, it's like you're taking advantage of somebody of a smaller, you know what I'm saying, a younger mind, a couldn't I don't know if I'm trying to use the right word. It's like he's young girls are very, you know what I'm saying, promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? You get
Mhm.
12, 13, 14-year olds and stuff,
Well,
you
they're
know what I'm saying?
curious. I think you
Curious.
mean they're curious. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They don't know.
yeah. And they see a lot of stuff. So if you get somebody of a little bit older and they come in, you know what I'm saying, on spit some game to you, boy, and on made you feel a certain way at that age and shit, you're gonna fall for the okie doke.
Yeah, and
You
the
know what I'm saying?
naive. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's like with back to the drug dealers, or we still not support them, but we know the name of the game, or we know the rules of what's going on. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? As far as that person might not have an opportunity for real because he fucked up early in his life and now he still has to maintain his life. You know what I'm saying? But still, he's giving it to people who's making their own personal choice to do that.
Let me ask you. Let me rebut you on that. On that now,
Be- be-
isn't both of them in those scenarios selling a product? Like the drug is the product, right?
Mm.
Trafficking is a product as well, right? And it's one and the same.
But let me just answer beforehand. The I look at the like, for example, Jay-Z and what he's done with the music and promoting drugs. I look at that as worse only because on a larger scale, what R. Kelly was doing was behind closed doors, right? It was never what he did was never promoted on his in his music, right? What Jay Z did, he did that in his personal life, as far as selling drugs to his community, but he also promoted that on record. The problem with that, in my opinion, is that when you promote that type of lifestyle and you fantasize it, then you're actually have more influence for the younger generation to either follow in your footsteps if that's what you're preaching, which is what he actually did preach, and they don't understand the negative consequences of drug dealing in your communities. And a lot of them might think that they could sell drugs and then flip it around and go legit and get a rec label like he did, not realizing that before you actually turn legit, you get caught up in a case and you're gone for football numbers, right? And a lot of rappers, they never talk about the negative side of all these things. They always promote it as fantasy. They always promote it as everything is okay, everything is good.
You
So
can't say
I
never.
think he does worse.
You can't say never because the music industry is actually in control of this. Because I remember an era when they was talking against this. You know what I'm saying? The self destructions. We all in the same gang.
Yep,
Love's
yep.
gonna get you. KRS-One and many others. You know what I'm saying? That threw that message up in there.
Even
Oh,
Ice T.
Spice One. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ice T
What was
too,
that
New
one
Jack
track?
Hustler. Yeah.
Hmm.
That ghetto track he did on Spice One. You know what I'm saying? They telling you the stories and telling you what happens when you do this. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a rep. You know what I'm saying? By
Yeah.
Gangstar. You
The negative
know,
consequences. Yeah.
it,
Yep.
so it's like the music industry has control on what direction the music is coming out. Because even we had the hardcore hustler music back then, but it was separated to where you actually had choices. Now it ain't you don't have no choice. You pick up an album, they talking about some of everything from A to Z. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is staying in one lane. And most of this stuff is coming basically off a lot of negative, you know what I'm saying, street lingo that they ain't never lived before. They just taking stories or they have narrators in the studio and stuff teaching them things as they go.
Mm.
Hmm.
Can I just respond to what that commenter said?
Oh,
I
Miss Williams.
said,
I appreciate you tuning in, Miss Williams. By the way, what's coming?
Hello, hello,
Here.
or whatever.
I think it's Chiquita Williams. I think she was
Which
saying
one?
the last one, that they're entertainers. They are not responsible for what you do as a parent or have control over. all that is true. At the end of the day, the parent is the one who's supposed to have the most influence on a child. But to be realistic, when you look at the fact that if a parent is working, the parent sends a child out to school. There's influence from other kids. There's influence from the teachers, the curriculum, outside forces, the radio, the advertising, television. The only thing that you could do is to prepare your child for what they might experience. But at the end of the day, they're bombarded by all of this. And it's ridiculous how bombarded they are. The only thing that you could do to prevent that is sheltering your child, which is not advisable anyways. And most parents don't have the time and luxury to do those things. So at some point in time, your child is going to be influenced in some form or fashion by these outside sources. Because remember, rap music today, like Matt said, what they were talking about before is not what's happening today. Now it's all about promoting products, promoting lifestyles, promoting consumerism. Everything, the music is used to get people to buy. So it's in every medium possible to influence people to spend money.
Okay, for my hip hop fans, where did that start at?
What?
What you just saying as far as promoting products and selling things, you know what I'm saying?
I would say that happened once Biggie and Pac died. And you had that void. And you had people like Puff.
No, that shows me your age. It actually starts off with Run DMC and My Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
When they held them Adidas up in the air, that's what started the contracts actually started rolling in because they saw how the crowd reacted to it. You know what I'm saying? And from there, just like everything, once they get a gimmick and they see that we fall for it, they're just going to keep trying to use the gimmick, keep trying to use the gimmick. You still see it now. You know what I'm saying? When Nicki Minaj was starting to get watered down, they tried to bring in Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B might not, all black folks might never run to Cardi B, so now they come up with a Megan. All of this is roots off of, I can't even say Roxanne Shante because she was totally different. You know what I'm saying? This started at, I would probably say Little Kim, or just before that. It was probably a couple of artists just before her.
Keep in mind though that My Adidas was before KRS One and all those songs that you mentioned earlier, and all in the same gang and all of the conscious music, right? So there was a balance.
So My Adidas was out the same time as KRS One. This was 1986,
Not the songs.
Yeah.
Not the songs that you're talking about. Back then, KRS One was criminal minded, but then he changed after Scholar Rock.
But the album Criminal Minded came out later than the singles. The singles was building up to the album. You remember how they used to do it back in the days? It was like it'll take like 2 years for an album to come out back then. You know what I'm saying? But they had a whole bunch of singles leading up to that album.
True.
So I believe South Bronx and was like 86, 87.
The Bridge is Over.
Because he mentioned it in the trap.
But see, I remember him. See, I found out about him through My Philosophy. That's when I first heard him. Then I got to hear the previous stuff.
90.
Exactly. So the way I look at it, that was still around. The conscious part, the content, the message. It was there in the 90s. Then somewhere along the line, it changed. I think it's the Biggie Tupac era when that died. That's when it changed. But I mean, you're right. My Adidas was definitely corporate.
Yeah, once they did that, just like they tried to do everything until it runs out of water. They didn't take breakdancing that far. You know what I'm saying? They took it right after about the 84. I think it was the 84 Olympics. It probably went into 85, but by 86, breakdancing was like old school, man. What you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Were you still out there on the floor?
Put that cardboard away. But Chiquita is saying that she sets the rules in her home. But how often is your child in your home? How about when they leave your house? What happens then? Who sets the rules then?
Because I mean, my mom taught me very well. But once I stepped out of the house, you know what I'm saying? I know I had to change modes, you know what I'm saying? The way she's teaching me ain't the way I know how to survive. And she knew
exactly.
She just gave me the best weapon. So that's when I beat somebody up in school or something like this, I just come home like, hey, he started it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was the growing pains of a boy. That's how she look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or she just really didn't have control. Not saying a bad thing that I was being disrespectful. It was just I was just being a hard head. And naughty head is what we call them back in the days. You know. But
so
I mean,
it's you're right. It's hard to have influence on your child for, if we know, for 24 hours, right? There's going to be a period of time where you're not the most
but I
influential
mean,
person in their life.
because actually you are, and a lot of things they do carry with them once you tell them. It's about how they choose to use that. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got good information, then you more than likely gonna make bad decisions. But if you get good information and you make a bad decision, you'll know how to get yourself out of
Mm. The moral, someone's was a moral compass, that's set by the parents, right? And
Absolutely.
then everything else stems from that. So your children will be put in positions where they're going to have to think, okay, is this going to be something that I should do? Is this going to make me feel good? Is it going to make the other person, is it going to harm the other person, or is it going to harm me? And then based on their moral compass, they're going to figure out what decision to make, right? But kids are going to falter. They're going to get into situations. You have many good kids who end up doing bad things, right? But at the end of the day, your moral compass is what's going to get you out of things and keep you steady, following the right path.
Do you know what I want to agree with? I disagree with parents who have double standards, where they be the ones who preach the relic, talking about yeah, the music industry is corrupting my kids and all the stuff there, but they be the same one who turn on the radio station be jamming the music while their kids in
Hmm.
the car.
In the car, yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that. You got to be either one or the other. Because then also you setting a negative message towards them too. They're like, well, you saying we can't listen to it, but you're listening to it. You saying
Hmm.
we can't back that thing up, but I just seen you with your friends at the family reunion backing the thing up. So
See,
Yep.
I think we're part of that generation, Herb, of when those songs was coming on back in the days, that our parents were so in tune with the masters that we was learning a lot different as we came up in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because we could
mm,
be in the room listening to something and shit, and they walk up in the room. Hold on, that sounds like such and such, and they'll run in the room and find it and play it. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
It's like today's music, man. It's like we don't have nobody teaching what's make believe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
What's just a book? What should just be a book? You know what I'm saying? We ain't got Slick Rick out there with the children's story. You know what I'm saying? Which can be used metaphorically when you're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? On the video. You know what I'm saying? It's a children's
mm,
story, but he's telling a story of robbing this woman. You know what I'm saying? Police chasing him down the street
exactly.
and stuff
Hmm.
like that. You know, it's like the the mumble rap is so confusing that even if it was a story in it, it'll be hard to find it. These boys go from Lamborghinis to flipping keys to a girl shaking on the roof of a car. I mean, I don't know what the hell these dudes be talking about. It,
Hmm. But well, final thoughts, gentlemen. Final thoughts.
my final thoughts. I'm in some heavy thinking too over here. I don't want to start spilling out. We'll be here for another 2-3 hours. But what's called be on the lookout for my new channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to reload. You know what I'm saying? They bullshitting with my channel. Goddamn, I'm not going to appeal none of the videos I put up. I ain't no bitch. I ain't begging for shit. You know what I'm saying? It has CDC information up there. It shouldn't have been took down. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have been correct information that they didn't want us to see. So, look out for my new channel. I'm trying to get it up and running by tonight. I still can't go live on it probably for another 24 hours, but look out for the House of Madness. with your
Okay.
host, the Mad Militant. Yeah,
All
buddy.
right.
So I'm just sitting here working on some things, trying to get that up and rolling and stuff while people bother me and stuff. I'm glad I had this time to kick it up here with y'all.
All right. All right.
All right.
As far as me, you can find me on my YouTube channel, part of my presence. One thing I want to say, when it comes to parenting, I used to think that I could parent my children like how my parents did, but I'm realizing that I can't use old technology or old software to help with my children in today's climate.
Absolutely.
I have to upgrade it. I have to find a way
What?
to. No, listen. I have to find a way where I can assist them with what's going on today, because it's a completely different world. It's a
Yep.
completely different situation. If I teach them the old ways, they're going to be lost. And I think it's a challenge for parents to understand that what applied back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you think it's great, you think you could do it now, but your children are going to get lost in today's climate if they don't have the proper tools. So you have to find a hybrid way of teaching. You have to find out what works for your children specifically based on who they are and what their strengths are. But you also have to look at what's happening today and kind of help them have a forward thinking mentality. So that way, when they're on their own, they're hitting the ground running in the decade that they're in, as opposed to having 60s knowledge, applying it in 2020. It's not gonna work well for them. So that's my advice from one parent to others. And you could catch me on my channel, part of my presence.
Absolutely. Hey, you might get ready to get on mad going, and we'll be on here for an hour on debate like that.
Hey, like I
But
said, I'm always
yeah,
looking for the good conversations.
oh yeah, that could probably be another topic for another time, for sure. Because
For sure, yeah.
honestly, PP, I actually agree with you on that because it's all about evolution. But one thing about that is that I do believe that you can't incorporate old technology into the new. All you're doing is basically upgrading it. You're just adding on to
Mhm.
Adding
what's
on to it, yeah.
already there. You
Yeah, like a
know,
hybrid version,
making it
yeah.
better. Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree. I agree.
But one more thing before you finish up, Urban, I'm calling a state gang meeting on
Um,
the back end on one of these stream yards. We must talk about what happened the other night on that panel. That was not cool.
What
You know
happened?
what I'm saying? That would start more drama than anything if I would have said something incorrect. You know what I'm saying? On something that nobody else knew about. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying? So
yesterday?
no. We'll talk on the back end. You state
Okay,
gang, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's when the proper squad is together. You know what I'm saying?
fair enough.
That's a no if we a team.
I hear you.
mhm. Well, with that being said, everybody, y'all continue to have a remainder great Tuesday. We will see y'all next time.
Yeah, buddy.
Peace.
Peace.